In a world full of movie podcasts, here is one more. Welcome to Defend Your Movie with Sean Donnelly
and Andrew Fiore.
The time has come again. The champion must stand. It can only be one of us. Victoria! So stand up in that, my friend. There's a title you must defend. Shut it on and on. Bring it to me. Defend your movie.
Hello there, everybody. How are you, our defenders? My name is Sean Donnelly. You know me as one of the hosts of the wonderful Defend Your Movie podcast. I'm sitting here with my co-host and good buddy, Andy Fiore, everybody.
Hey, Defenders. Good to be back in New York City, buddy.
Yes.
Long week in Vegas.
We had, what did you think? Because that was my third time going. What did you think? We went to the Comedy Cellar in Vegas.
Yeah, we did.
What did you think about, because most people won't go to Vegas for a week. What did you think about being in Vegas?
I loved all the shows. From start to finish, we did 14 shows. We did 7 nights, 2 shows a night. And the night before, the 6th night, I kind of hit the wall of, I'm getting tired of Vegas. And I'm ready to go home. But I would go whenever.
I would go whenever.
Because
I love it there. I don't know if I would live there. I like the setup of when you go you're in a casino and you go for shows and you.
Here's the thing. The shows are great. That's my job. I love that. That's all I really care about.
Yeah.
I'll find some time and, do whatever during the day. But every show was fantastic.
Yeah, they have good
with
crowds.
Maybe the exception of like 1 or 2. But even those the bar was set so high for all the others. Even like the ones that weren't great.
The decent ones.
But they were still better than most shows.
Yeah.
So
that's exactly how everybody felt when we were there. Everybody was like, "Oh, this is a good batch of shows." Because even the ones that were like, you're right. Because even if you took them by themselves, you'd be like, "Oh, this is just it's fine. It's fine."
Yeah,
show.
Totally.
But because the other ones were so fantastic, like the last show of the week was really good.
Correct.
Or the second to last and the last show of the week was really,
the last
really
day
fun.
last Sunday was really good.
And then we hung out a bunch.
We
actually pretty responsible on the drinking, I would say.
Yeah, we were. I think 3 or 4 nights out of 8.
Yeah.
Actually, now that I do the math, now that I say the math out loud.
Yeah, it's like 50% of the time we were drinking. But you're in Vegas, so it's like one of those things where I drank Saturday night. We drank like fish, and then we were both pretty hungover the next day. But it's still like it was controlled enough that I was fine for shows at night. Like, we got ourselves back on track,
Yeah, and I only go out after the show, so it's like I don't let it affect my performances at all. But we had a great time. We had a defender come out, the first precedent she set. Amy,
yes,
thank you, Meowsers
thank on
you
Instagram
so much. It made my night. She came up and she I don't want to explain it incorrectly. Was she a vegetarian? That's why she didn't bring an actual potato.
Is that what she said? I thought she just couldn't find
sweet potato.
No, she was a vegetarian. Why wouldn't she have a regular potato?
I don't know. I thought she's something against the meat and the potatoes.
Oh no, she said I wanted to have I couldn't find anything, but she had a sweet potato.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's the same thing as a potato. So if she was a vegetarian. They're both vegetables.
Okay,
I think she just didn't have like an Idaho potato. Or
those are tough to find. I knew there was some reason for the sweet potato. Amy, hit us up again.
Let us know. Message us, Amy, because I think she said I couldn't find like a nice looking potato for the meats and potatoes.
Okay.
Because what she brought, it looked like almost like a carrot.
It was like a big carrot,
but it was a sweet potato.
Yeah.
It was still a potato, and we signed the sweet potato. We took a picture. We're putting it on Instagram. It'll be up this week on Instagram, and we'll tag it and we'll hashtag it Defend Your Movie. But she was so awesome.
She's so sweet, so excited, and honestly, that makes our day when we have a defender come out, and she was the first.
Yes,
the first one to bring the potato.
And that gag became because of Greg Stone, right? Don't they have them sign something?
Yeah, something like that.
They like bring out something and like, okay, you bring out a potato, I'll sign a fucking potato. And then she was like, here's a potato.
Right.
So we signed. It was really, really fun. And then, so if we're out, me and Andy are on the road all the time. If you guys are the defenders, if you come up, hey, we'll buy you a drink. We ended up not being able to drink with Amy because the place was closed, but if you're around and you come to a show and you bring a potato, sign a potato, even if you don't, just tell us you're a Defender. We'll hang out. We'll say hello.
I've had a few of the Defenders just say, "Hey, it was a fan of the podcast," and it always makes my night.
It's pretty awesome.
Thank you so much, Amy. It was great to meet the Defenders face to face, and
it was funny because we did all the shows that week. We did with our friend Eagle Witt, who's 26.
Yeah,
and I had a life realization while I was there. Because we were like, one night, the night that we went out, like, we didn't even go full-fledged. We were drinking and gambling a little bit, and we went over to watch the band at a bar at the New York Casino.
Yeah.
It wasn't even that big of a deal, but we were pretty drunk. And
I think I know what you're just
But
saying.
on the way over, I'm like, Eagle wasn't with us, and I'm like, tell him to come and hang out with us.
Yeah.
And then you're like, all right, and we text him, and he's like, nah, I'm going to take a lap and go to bed. I'm like, why does he want to hang out with us? And I thought,
his stomach hurt.
No, he said his stomach hurt. But even if he was bullshitting us, yeah, he doesn't want to hang out with these two old fucking guys. Like, we're not even that old, but we're old compared to him. He told me, he's like 26. He thinks of us as like just weird uncles or something.
Yeah, I kind of get that now. Because he also doesn't drink, and he was also not gambling. There was a few times when we'd be at the tables, and he would just kind of stand behind us
and then disappear.
And then he'd be like, "All right, I'm a run, fam." He talks cool.
He talks way cooler than me and Andy.
And then he'd go, it wouldn't dawn on me until you said it. I'm like, we're cool.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he want to hang out with it? Like, he was giving us bad, like, excuses, like, I have to wash my hair. Like, he was like a chick turning us down. Yeah, my stomach doesn't really hurt. Yeah,
that's exactly what it was, dude.
My stomach's kind of feeling funny, and
then I'm thinking, I'm like, dude, but I'm young and I'm drinking, and having a good time, and I'm like, oh no, wait, that's not the case.
Yeah, and
so
listen, he's a cool young black dude. We're probably the last two people on earth he wants to like go and socialize with. You know, you can't walk into the club with fucking two young Santas. You know what I mean? It makes complete sense now.
I don't know how people view me. That's the thing. I make fun of myself on stage, and I talk.
Of course.
And I have low self-esteem with certain things.
Same.
But I don't realize. I'm like, oh yeah, people are believing it, and they're looking at you like I'm old. I'm a sir at this point.
I know. We both talk about how 40 our bodies are breaking down. I'm going
to admit this. I was thinking this the other day because I'm like, I always follow our Ricky Velez on Instagram, who's a really super funny comic, and he's part of that like Pete Davidson crew. I'm always like, I wonder, maybe I can hang out with those guys.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, not even close. First off, I'm not really close buddies with those guys.
Yeah.
But I would never, ever, I would last 10 minutes.
I was thinking, because when we were sitting in a diner on Saturday night, you were like, yeah, I'm here with you. You just sent him a picture of me. And he was like, that's not enticing.
I said,
I'm here with Fury, and then you sent me a picture of me eating my sandwich at the diner. I'm like, that would run miles away from that opportunity.
Well, no, I wasn't saying let's hang out. I was just drunk and saying, hey, you guys are here, because they were in Vegas the same time we were, and we're friendly enough. But it's funny. It's funny because I'm like, no, I can hang with these guys. That'd be cool. That'd be cool to like.
Well, you do.
I'm so embarrassed to admit that.
No, I think on the level you go, comics are always hanging out with other comics, no matter what the.
That's
age
how I thought. That's how I
exactly.
think of it. But then there is. In that there's so much of an age, there's a big age difference. So those guys are doing things. I'm like, I would last like 5 minutes. I would just be like, all right, I'm going to go. Right. I'm like, because at the end of the day, all we really want to do is like, we just get drunk and we just, I don't even know what we just got drunk and then went to bed.
We sang along to a bunch of songs. I noticed that is a large part of our hanging out. It's getting drunk to music. Because if we're not seeing a live band, it's usually in a bar where we pick the jukebox songs. And then here's my favorite thing about Shawnee is he will get drunk and forget about a jukebox song that he picked, and when it comes on, he'll go, great song! Oh, this song's like it was just serendipity that put this song. You picked this 5 minutes ago.
Oh my god.
You're the happiest when your songs come on, and I share that joy too.
Oh, I love it.
But it's like you forgot about it, and then it was like God parting the fucking.
My God. I take pride in my jukebox picks a lot. So
do I.
Yeah, I really do. I think if somebody really came after me for that, I would get highly offended.
Oh yeah,
because I think I have
be
picks.
make or break for me.
Oh yeah, if somebody
Like, at a
was
date
giving
or
you shit.
something?
Oh my god.
That's a good way to get to know somebody. Like a date.
Music picks?
Yeah, if you go, hey, we'll go 1 for 1 on our jukebox pick.
Oh my God,
that's
that's
like
a good
date.
idea.
Yeah.
High fidelity. You guys,
High
books,
fidelity.
movies, TV shows.
Yep.
These things matter.
These things matter.
It's a great way to put it. It really is.
Absolutely.
It's forming tastes. So we both saw a bunch of stuff 'cause we were on planes and stuff. So do you want to talk about what you saw?
Sure. I actually just watched one movie since last week's episode in the hotel room because we talked about we did the Vegas-centric episode last week. Other than that, flying, I just watched Glow and Mindhunter. I just was watching Netflix. But I watched last year's movie called Booksmart, which was Olivia Wilde's directorial debut. It was essentially super bad, only toned down and girls.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It had
They have a
Jonah
new
Hill's
one.
little sister. I know this is going to sound
Oh.
misogynistic because I can't remember her name. It's just like, yeah, it's Jonah Hill's kid sister.
Well, he's more famous than she is. She's
And-
been in one movie.
And she's great.
Or actually, no, she's been in a couple
She was
movies.
in Neighbors Part 2, like Sorority Rising. She was
She's
great.
funny.
She was like a really
She's super funny.
physical actress. And she was great in this. And then the other lead was also really good, but I couldn't look at her because she looked exactly like Conan O'Brien. I mean, if you guys look up a picture of this actress, tell me you don't see a young
Is it Tilda-
teenage
Tilda
Conan
Swinton?
O'Brien girl.
Was it Tilda Swinton's niece?
No, I mean, to the point where I just couldn't not see Conan. But it had like Carrie Fisher's daughter's in it. She was great. I don't know if you've started watching The Righteous Gemstones.
Not yet, but I heard it's great.
There's a young kid. I don't know his name either. He's starting to pop up in things. He was in Booksmart. He's starting to pop up in Righteous Gemstones, and he's really funny. And I'm looking forward to. So it had like a good, funny surrounding cast, but it was just like, okay, this is the girl version of a movie I've seen, of teen comedy I've seen a bunch of different times. It's senior year. We've been nerds. Now we're going to break out before we go to college.
And it's ironic that Jonah Hill's sister's in it because he did
Correct.
Superbad. But it's also ironic because he apologized. Not apologized. He regrets Superbad, he says.
What?
You didn't hear that?
No.
Jonah Hill is not. When he did press for mid-90s, he basically regrets doing Superbad. He did
Why?
not, because of how
What?
not woke it is now, I guess.
Oh, fuck off.
They were just trying to fuck the whole movie.
I liked Jonah Hill up until I heard that. Yeah, you're a
I knew
senior
you'd
in
hate
high
that.
school. Ah!
Yeah, and also the movie came out, what year? Was it 2005 or 4? Or whatever?
Later than that, like 8.
Oh, 8, yeah, okay, yeah. 10 years.
Are you excited for the 20s to get here so we can say the 20s?
The 20s?
Yeah, I'm just excited to be like, yeah, I
Because
remember
we
back
don't
in
say
18.
the teen. Well, we say the 20s because we don't say because it has to be the 30s to get here to say the 20s. So remember, back
Yeah,
in
but
the
now we
20s?
can go, in 18, we can say the teens.
the teens, and then
I'm excited
nobody
for the 20s.
says the aughts. That's one thing I noticed.
I know, we say 08, 07,
Yeah,
09.
but back old timey people would say back in the aughts,
Yeah, and 08.
08,
I know.
1908.
Well, either way, I'm excited for that. And I'm excited for...
You're excited to say the 20s.
Yeah.
And yeah, because and also you wonder, how about this? Do you think when this is a good question?
Shoot.
Socially and also psychologically.
All right, sir.
Do you think that the fashions, the trends, everything will be more?
Fashion!
That's Curb Your Enthusiasm.
My favorite Curb Your Enthusiasm
It's such a
moment
good
ever.
episode.
Get a life, Jews! That kid's phenomenal.
That kid's amazing.
Amazing.
Do you think all that the music and stuff will all be more encapsulated because it'll be like it was back in the
interesting.
1900s, where it's like there's 20s music, 30s, the
Flappers
40s.
and- yeah.
Yeah. Do you think it'll have more like because think about the
Yes,
80s?
because we've kind of
group-
always had that.
We'll group it together. But right now, the clothes you wore.
Decades have been known for their music. Music weirdly has changed through every decade.
Tell me what it has.
I'm not a good person to ask currently.
I'm talking even fashion. Tell me what fashion was 2008.
Oh,
Nobody
I was
knows that
music,
now.
more musical.
More music.
Fashion has hipster came about like that. Like
That's been going on for a while, like 20 years.
that's you said 08.
Oh, wait. Yeah, okay.
I think in the mid 2000s, that hipster kind of blasé
It became
look
more
became fashionable.
It became fashionable. You're right.
Now, I mean, I've worn a t-shirt and jeans for 40 years.
Yeah.
So I'm not really the best one to ask. But I mean,
you know what I mean? Like, you know what
I don't know what
80s
currently would be. I see fucking stupid. I see like still the offshoots of the hipster brand.
Like, I'm wondering, will we make
like,
mistakes
fanny
like the
packs
70s where they're like, I heard that, like, people are like, oh, they're bringing back the
Everything's
90s skate jeans and stuff, where it's like gigantic, like big jeans.
I went through that phase.
So did I.
I still wear flannels.
Flannels, all the time I wear.
Yeah.
I try to like not. I try to get solid color shirts, so I don't have all flannels.
I have none.
I was like to the point where like I started being called the flannel guy by people like people I would like barely know in comedy. They go, "Hey, you're the flannel guy, right?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I didn't know that.
Hey, flannel guy's here.
Yeah, flannel guy. Yeah. But
It's not a party if a flannel guy gets
so
here.
it's never a party. To
That was it for me.
So you watched that one thing, and then you were like, "It's just whatever." And how was the directing? Anything stand out about it? You wonder. That's one of the things. You ever wonder this about directing? If you're in the business long enough, and you're behind, and you see, and you want to take notice of things, you're pretty capable of just making a decently directed movie.
Yeah.
Because what it really comes down to, and I talked about this recently with the whole Tarantino thing. Editing. I realized this. Shots are fucking fantastic. When you notice Coen Brothers.
Cinematography, I would say, even, you know?
So that's what I mean. Cinematography, shots the director made, without like he's in charge of. It's almost like they're in charge of the choices they make. So it's like that's why they get the credit for the editing and the cinematography, because they're like, these are the people I work well with. Nothing stood out, right?
Nah, there was a couple techniques she used where.
It's also a
sound
comedy.
like an asshole
It's a
saying
comedy
this,
too. So like nobody's like heralding these fucking comedies for their directing. What?
Yeah, true. They did this in the movie a few times. I hate specifically when girls do this. Is that no matter who or what they are, they go, "Stop it, Queen! Yes, perfection, fire! You are a beautiful." It's just like over the top, complimentary. It's going. You can say your friend looks like shit when they look like shit.
Yeah, that's the difference.
Not everybody is a yes, queen. Some people look like shit. We can admit it. I know that's not woke, but you're fucking living in a fantasy world if you don't think this is true. All right? Because they did this a few things ago when they would like dress up, and there are things for the prom. They'd meet up and go, "Stop it, perfection." I mean, I can't even look at you right now. And I see this from girls in their mid-20s, millennials on like Instagram. A girl will put up a picture, and then her comments are just fire, perfect, beautification. It's just like, what do you do all day?
Yeah, exactly.
It irritates me.
I know
As
what you
a
mean.
40-year-old white man, that irritates me. I'm so sorry, society.
You're losing your grip on this country.
No.
Two things I did. I watched a documentary last night I started another one too, and I'll mention, but I haven't finished it, so I shouldn't talk about it. I finished one called Too Funny to Fail, and it's on Netflix.
Yes. Colbert. No, I'm sorry.
Colbert's in it.
Yeah.
It's all right. So it's based off the whole thing surrounding the Dana Carvey show. But even they don't know why they're making the documentary. They're like, we don't know why we're even making a documentary about this. So they talk to a lot of it is Steve Carell and
I did see it once you mentioned.
Oh, you did see it. Okay, so Carell and Colbert are in it. They go to a lot of interviews from them. I didn't even realize. I think they lasted a whole season. I think it did last a season. Yeah. I didn't know that. For some reason, I thought the Dana Carvey show was done in like 6 episodes. But it had like
crux is the legendary writing staff.
That's where it comes from. Right. Well, it's ironic because the next one I watched is called The Wrecking Crew, which is about the studio band that was known for. Yeah. The Wrecking Crew. This is like The Wrecking Crew, but for comedy writing staff. Yeah. Like it was just this. Everybody. It literally.
Wrecking Crew's fun.
Wrecking Crew is good. I was already too documentaried out by the time I got halfway through it. But. Like, so the head writer was Louis C.K. when he was like, I think he was 29 or something when he was, or 26
Probably.
or something. Louis C.K. was on it. The big one that stands out on this writing staff, Charlie Kaufman. Charlie Kaufman, the writer, the film writer, was on the Dana Carvey show sketch writing team.
I think it was also just Robert Smigel.
Stephen
Colbert.
Who came over from, and then
Stephen Carell
they were buddies. They were Second City together.
On it.
They were It was
like one of the first things Carell.
They were cast members. It was like the very first thing they did.
Yeah.
Like they were pulled out of obscurity. They were nobodies. They mentioned on the show. They're like, you guys. There was like nobody was paying attention to these guys. Like, and but they were legends at Second City in Chicago at the time. And then because what happened was they went to go check out Carell, and the night Carell, for some reason he wasn't there, Colbert was his stand-in. And they were like, well, we like the stand-in, too. The stand-in's amazing. So they contacted both of them and like, hey, both of you guys want to be part of the show.
When they were together on The Daily Show, I would be in tears.
Oh, they're amazing. Carell, they showed sketches Carell did at Second City, and I was laughing out loud.
There's the long-lost Steve Carell interviews Steve Carell. It was like a holiday episode for The Daily Show, and it's so goddamn funny. This is before The Office. It's just so.
Carell
you can see
also,
why he's such a genius.
Carell also mentions, he seems like, first of all, that guy, either has bodies buried in his basement. I don't know what skeletons he has, but he comes off like the nicest guy in the world.
He's a pretty religious guy. Or no, that's Colbert.
Colbert's religious. Colbert's super Catholic.
Yeah, people can be nice
or pretty Catholic. No, people can be nice, but it's just it's refreshing. Yeah. And Carell in this documentary mentions, he goes, I had an agent at the time that was like, if something doesn't happen soon, an agent, not an agent.
Gotcha.
Yeah, please.
I've already dug a hole for myself this episode. Why not rain the dirt on?
He had an agent mention, if something doesn't happen soon, nothing's ever gonna happen. So, but it was a really cool documentary. I watched the whole thing. It went by really fast.
It's great, especially if you're a comedy nerd and interested in comedy.
Watch it. If you're a comedy nerd, watch this documentary.
I love
because I watched it
stuff like that.
And you know what it is? From doing comedy for so long, do you ever start to think that I'm done with comedy? I have to have more about me than just comedy. And then you watch something like this, and you're like,
yeah.
You become a giddy little schoolgirl.
Totally.
You're like, oh my god, this is amazing. So like that, and then I rewatched Endgame, and I'm bringing that up because you watched it and you didn't like it, and when you mentioned that last time,
we've gone over it.
Yeah.
It's just not for me.
I almost cried this time.
You fucking baby.
I almost cried this time watching it. And there's a couple of really emotional scenes, man. It's real. I don't know how you don't buy into
care about the characters.
But they're like pretty regular characters.
Yeah, Thor.
I mean,
Thanos.
They're making them as human as possible.
I understand that, but it's just so we don't have to go.
We're not going to get into it.
Yeah, I don't even want it.
I'm just saying I brought it up again because I rewatched it. So if you had any questions about it or you any comments,
no, I don't have any follow-up questions.
You're writing off Marvel then. You're writing off
Marvel.
So you're still going to see them or no?
Here's the thing.
Are you like Nathan McIntosh where you're just fucking swearing off these
No,
these
I will give anything a chance. I watched it, didn't I?
You watched it, but like
I know Nathan's done.
But this is you're at the breaking point with this one. You're like I'm not into these.
That's why I don't love it like everybody else does. I just don't love them. Don't. Here's the thing I would do, I think, for fun, is that I would try and maybe watch all of the Marvel Universe like in the right order.
Yes.
Because I've gone all around and not watched anything in the right way that they're meant to be watched.
Well, they don't come out in the right way.
Yeah, so
they come out
that would
wrong.
be kind of a fun thing I would do. So no, I'm not done with it. And like I said, there's a few of them in there that I think are great, cool movies.
Yeah, okay. So if the new one comes out, you'll be willing to see it.
I just went, fine. We got to get everybody in here for one last hurrah. It just seems shoehorned to me. I don't want to even.
All right.
We did it last week.
I just love them so much.
I know you do, and that's fine.
And it's one of those things
you don't like things I love.
That's true. I do some of the things, yeah. But that's true. And that's true.
Right?
It's absolutely true, yeah. But I'm just saying that...
I don't want to fight anymore, baby.
But you know what I mean, where it's like, I think it's a huge feat to make anything that resembles a movie after having that many characters.
3 hours, too. Come on.
3 hours. Hey, the perfect segue. One last thing before we get to the meats and the potatoes.
Okay.
Which we'll have like 10 minutes for. They released how long The Irishman is.
How long?
Like 220 minutes.
What?
It's like 3 hours plus, like 3 hours.
Oh, God. Well, I mean, yeah, Casino's long. What is
not that long.
220? That's 180
Unless I misread
180
it.
is 3 hours.
180 is 3 hours. So it's over. So I think it's like 3 hours and 40 minutes.
Wow.
No, it can't. Hold on. It can't be that long. It's probably 310 or something maybe. But that's still 3.5.
But, when you're excited for something, time really doesn't. You go, I don't care.
Oh, I don't care. I'll still watch it.
Yeah.
I don't mind when movies are long. I mind after the fact that they're too long, and you could have cut half that movie out.
Right.
But I don't believe that he would do that. I think that I think that it's going to be
Wow,
good.
that's
I think
nuts.
It's going to be...
Well, it is. It does span. It
Yeah.
spans.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I could see it.
We're spanning
Whatever.
time
I mean,
together.
did you watch the newest and latest and last trailer for Joker today too?
I did.
Yeah.
I watched it right before I left my house.
Nothing really new. It's just a little more.
I thought
character.
so. I thought it's going to be all
He's
him.
gonna have a
follow him.
relationship.
Also, that is a straight up. I'm wondering if they're going to use the freaking
I
character
know.
from King of Comedy.
He's not called Rupert Pumpkin, but
He's not.
Pumpkin.
Did you know that for a fact?
Yes, we looked it up. I looked it up.
What the fuck are they doing? It's the same.
It's a different. I know. It's
It's the same
I know.
thing. The same curtain, everything.
same delivery.
Also, can I have dinner with De Niro? Will he just do anything at this point? I love the guy.
Dinner with De Niro. It's our next
What?
podcast.
Yeah.
Dinner with De Niro.
Dinner with De Niro. So you want to do meats and
Do you
potatoes?
eat my fries?
Yeah.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever said in my life.
You eat my fries? Was that your De Niro?
Yeah.
Your De Niro and your
fuck
Tony
my
Soprano is the same thing. You fuck my wife?
They're very similar.
They're pretty simple.
Yeah, this one is kind of inspired from a Defender.
A question we got.
Erock3382. Thank you very much, Mr. Eric. You can follow him on Twitter if you guys want. He gave a question right up my alley. You guys know I love my live music. He asked us what, if we could, have attended one of the fake concerts or fake bands from the movies that we love. So, say, my first one I thought of was Crucial Taunt from Wayne's World 1. I always thought that was a badass band with Tia Carrere. I loved it. Was a cool name. I was a kid. She was so hot.
They sing a real song, though. They sing Blitz, Ballroom Blitz.
Ballroom Blitz.
Yeah,
It's not it's a cover.
I forgot that's the name of the band. Crucial Taunt?
Yeah.
So 90s.
So that's the
Remember
gist of that. So
how much of a sex symbol she was? Tia Carrere, people were like losing their minds over Tia Carrere.
Yama.
She was gorgeous. She is gorgeous.
I mean, yeah,
Probably still,
still.
yeah.
But so it's in that vein of fake movie bands
Right.
or even fake movie concerts.
So that's the first one. You brought up one earlier that I would say, just because I love the movie is so great, is the Airheads concert at the end.
Yeah,
Just because those guys
the
are
Lone
great.
Rangers.
The Lone Rangers.
That was one Eric mentioned too.
Yeah, that would be great.
That would be fun.
No,
Airheads
but
is a fun movie, man. It still holds up for me.
it's awesome. I love it.
It's a great cast.
I have fond memories because it was me and my sister. We watched it together after we watched Billy Madison. So we rented that. We were at my grandmother's when we were like, I don't know, I was probably 12. She was 10. Oh, no. I was probably like
a little older than
older than that.
I saw Airheads in the theater.
Yeah. So we went to the West Coast Video, got Billy Madison, returned it, got Airheads, watched them back to back. It was a great double feature, and we laughed our butts off. But it's such a good movie. It also never got its due. Like, it's funny. It's really funny.
I think it maybe has grown into an underground cult. I don't know if that's maybe the appropriate title, but enough people from our age range.
One of my favorite,
Airheads.
My favorite
awesome.
Steve Buscemi lines in there. One of my favorite lines ever when he goes, "Hey, we're partying in here. We all have all sorts of beer." just a random line. We got all kinds of beer.
Yeah, they were great, man.
What else do you have in mind?
I had sticking with the Wayne's World universe. Wayne Stock seemed like a fun festival in part 2.
Oh, part 2? I don't remember.
Which is not as bad a sequel as people think.
People like it a lot.
I love Wayne's World too. There's a lot of gems in there. There's the whole Doors thing, the Naked Indian, with Wayne's following around.
I remember seeing it and then just never revisiting it.
It's pretty funny. I've watched it recently. It's got one of my all-time favorite things, especially for a guy who works in radio. It's got Handsome Dan, which is played by Harry Shearer, and they go in there promoting for the Wayne stock, and they're trying to get the word out. And Handsome Dan's that classic, like, he's obviously not handsome, but he's doing that thing where DJs do, where you can tell they're not listening, and he's trying to set up the next bit, and Wayne's just going, yeah, so Wayne stock is, he's going, right, great. You know,
Yeah.
And then, they go into the bit. It's like, you're not listening to anything I'm saying at all. And he's going, right, correct. We can say anything we want, And then it ends with, they go off air, and Harry Shearer jumps right back to it. The best line, he goes, hey, guys, I think Wayne Stock is really going to be married, man. I'm hearing a lot of things. People are really starting to get cranked. It's such a funny line.
It's funny.
People are really starting to get cranked. I wish I could use that in my everyday vernacular, but God, that is such a funny line. Harry Shearer knocking it out of the park, which
he's amazing. He does so many things. That
of course, we'd be remiss if we didn't next bring up Spinal Tap.
You know, do you know? All right, I'm going to make a lot of enemies right now. I've seen Spinal Tap. I am not that big of a fan of Spinal Tap.
I am not a huge fan of Spinal Tap either. The first time I saw it, I was kind of like, I don't see the hype. But I've watched it a bunch, and there are some really funny lines.
And I like Christopher Guest.
And here's the thing, I love other Christopher Guest movies more than Spinal Tap.
So do I. And I think it's because Spinal Tap got so hyped up before I saw it.
Yeah. But talking Harry Shearer, talking fake bands and movies.
Yeah.
You know.
Like
you gotta
Best in Show, I love Best in Show.
Love Best in Show. That's, I think, my favorite one.
Yeah, me too.
Waiting for a Guffman, close second.
Waiting for Guffman, super funny. What was I going to say? I have two things to say. One is, the other concert is in Almost Famous, because that band, you know, those songs were written by Mary, what's her name, from Heart?
Chapin.
Not Mary Chapin. What's her name? Cameron Crowe's wife.
Mary Wilson.
Mary Wilson. She wrote...
She's a badass musician.
She's badass. That's like a real concert.
Go back and listen to Barracuda and Magic Man again. You go, this fucking rocks.
It's insane. Also... a band that got killed by the 80s.
Yeah.
That's a band that got killed by the 80s. You could also make the I guess Aerosmith always keeps their Aerosmith. But when the 90s rolled around, like Janie's Got a Gun versus like them in the fucking 70s, like Sweet Emotion and stuff like that, is, oh my God, there's no comparison to me.
Yeah, of course.
I remember...
that's a band that should have maybe just stayed in the 70s. Because their 80s and 90s and beyond is garbage.
They don't do it. They don't have it. But Almost Famous...
If you look at Dream On and that dude loving an elevator, you go, what the fuck?
I know. But I remember when I was younger, I'd be like, this is great. And then
I had Pump in 4th grade.
I had Pump. Pump was so... It has this weird place in my brain because Janie's Got a Gun is on it. I had the tape. I remember it. I remember that it was an old car on the front. I remember the graphic of the old car on the front. I don't remember that.
Yep.
But the fact of what Janie's Got a Gun, the video's about, always creeped me out. You know, it's such a weird...
It seemed incestual.
It was.
Okay.
The dad was molesting the daughter, Janie, and that's, I guess, she takes revenge. She gets a gun and she takes... But, like, if you're, like, watching MTV and you're watching that fucks you up. Like, that's your first...
I know.
And that was actually before, what's her name? Jeremy spoke in class today. Remember that with Pearl Jam?
Yep.
Jeremy spoke.
Of course. I remember being the only one in my grade at the time. I go, he kills himself at the end.
Yeah.
So, like, it was a confusing video to someone. I was like, he shoots himself.
Yeah. But he shoots everybody else, too, and then himself.
Correct.
Actually, it holds up pretty freaking well, you know?
Oh, yeah. That was always like remember when they would do the video countdowns?
Oh,
that was
yeah.
always number one for years.
They used to do the top 20 countdown every Saturday.
No, but I mean like greatest videos of all time. They do it like once a year, and that held the top spot for a long time.
Yes, it did. It really did.
One was always up there.
For years, it definitely did.
Yeah.
And then now, nobody mentions it at all.
Yep.
Is rock and roll dead? What do you think? I know it's a bigger question.
No.
It's not.
No, because there's you just have to find it.
You have to find it.
There's
but that used to be in the forefront.
Like, I could say to you, and you go, I don't know them. But I go, well, you just check them out.
Yeah.
Like, you got to come to a Hold Steady concert with me. You'd love it. It's great bar rock. Like,
yeah.
Small, you know?
I got to check it out.
So.
Anyway, I'll tell you the one, you have another one, right?
So you had Stillwater in Almost Famous.
Yeah.
I have a really fun one that I think you'll like, which I would have loved to have seen. It's Marvin Berry and the Starlight.
Oh! I didn't think of that. Holy... Oh my God! There you go. There's my number one as far as fake ones go.
Sea Dance, Marvin Berry and the Starlight.
If I could have gone
Chuck Berry's cousin.
If I could have gone to the Enchantment of the Sea Dance,
I know.
Oh, man.
But I would have to have Michael J. Fox on guitar.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, rocks way more.
Hey,
but imagine to be there for that performance.
Yeah.
Anything Back to the Future, I would I would have cried, you know? That's why when the Seinfeld thing comes, I might cry if I walk in the Seinfeld set when they do the pop-up.
All right, I'll bring some tissues for you.
That's a great one. You came up with that one?
Yeah, I came up with that one.
That's a great one.
Well, I just said it, didn't I?
Yeah.
I'm going to come up.
I thought you meant like the guy sent it.
Oh, no, that was mine.
Oh, my God.
All these next ones are mine.
What else do you have?
I have Citizen Dick from Singles.
I don't care about
that's right up my alley.
Was it really?
Yeah, you kidding? It was half of Pearl Jam.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, good point. Yeah,
it was grunge.
And then just go to a bar to see them, right, in the movie?
That. But then there was also. Oh no, I guess that one's not that great. I was going to say the what's his name's band from Reality Bites.
You know, it'd be fun just because of how cheesy it is. a Steel Dragon concert from Rockstar.
Yeah, that's not a bad one. That's not a bad one.
That movie. We should do an episode about that movie. I could probably defend that against a bunch of stuff. Just because I'm like, there's something about it that's so watchable.
Yeah.
You know?
I have two more, and one of them is kind of not fair. Well, they're both kind of weirdly not. One really kind of qualifies. The other one doesn't really qualify because it's a real band in a fake movie. But I would have always loved to have been at Parliament Funkadelic in the pit.
Oh my god!
In PCU.
Yes! Wow, you're coming up with great ones. Oh my god, dude, that's a really good pick.
That's a real band,
and that would have been. Think about how fun that party would have been.
That's what I mean.
That's not fake. It doesn't be a fake band. Oh, usually
it's
a fake
real band, obviously in a fictional movie, but whereas the other bands were completely made up.
Yeah, but
for
that's
the movies.
A great pick because it's such a fun
Naked
scene.
Guy. You have
another movie that's
Mersh. Mersh has a great line. Jake Busey.
Yeah.
He goes, Mersh, Parliament's playing right here, man. And he looks at me and goes, marvelous. I used to say that. At Jake Busey.
It's like the perfect high guy thing to say.
Yeah. Mersh, you got to lay off the pipe, man.
Yeah.
P-Funk's playing right here.
She goes, what is the other guy? The other high guy goes, that weasel snaked the bee. When he thinks
that's an underrated movie, too.
That kid looks the same age that he is in Great Outdoors, and that movie's
really
like 7 years later, right? He looks the same exact age. Chris Young or something.
Pre-Frosh.
Pre-Frosh, yeah.
So, and I have one more. Do you have any others?
I have a real one. That's what I wanted to end it with.
Okay,
I have one that I would like. I would give my left arm to have gone, and you probably know what it is. I talk about it's
Last Waltz.
Yeah,
yeah.
If I could ever, and because it was on.
Well, that's a real thing. That's why
It's a real thing.
Well, yeah, of course. I was gonna
start.
All right. Well, I'll give you one that straddles the line of that, and then we'll get to our two favorite movie documentaries, which is including in the last one. Is I would have loved to have seen a Blues Brothers concert, the Blues Brothers.
That would have been cool. Really cool.
So even though
another one that I'm not a huge fan of.
They were a fake band for the movie, but then they became a real band. So I think that qualifies.
Absolutely,
they became that real band and toured. And
yeah, they're still a movie band.
Number one single, number one movie, and number one TV show with Saturday Night Live all at one time.
Is that true?
Which is like the only two guys ever accomplished it. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's crazy.
But
they also.
I love that kind of music. I love that like rock and roll horn. I love that just so
much.
Like
soul music.
Yeah,
it's like upbeat soul music. And what was the other one?
Well, my favorite is Stop Making Sense, Talking Heads.
Mine.
Demme directed both. Scorsese directed Last Waltz. Jonathan Demme directed Stop Making Sense.
That's the thing. It's, there you go. There's the pedigree. Pedigree matters.
I love Shine a Light too with the Stones, but it's not on the same level, obviously, as Last Waltz.
But it's not. It's not performance based, right?
It is. Shine a Light is.
Oh, it is. I never saw it.
And it's also from like 2005. It's not like peak Stones.
That's the thing, man. They have one that I've watched, and it's in a studio, and it's it's a documentary about the Stones from back then, and it's them. It's
Crossfire Hurricane's a great one. That was pretty recent.
Hurricane?
Crossfire Hurricane.
Who's that from?
I was born in a crossfire hurricane. That's about the Stones too.
Oh, really?
That's like a deep documentary that is 2013-ish, I would say.
Performance-based, Last Waltz to me is the best thing I've ever seen. The one that keeps me into it.
It's the classic.
It's
the bar.
And just because I think the reason why to back it up is like Stop Making Sense. I think is great, but I'm like to be there. I'd rather like the time period to be there in San Francisco in 1977. In that like just the vibe would just be so freaking cool.
Oh yeah, totally.
You know what I mean? Like it's just because you'd be
all
right.
The guest appearances.
Yeah, and I watch Last Waltz now as a comic, and I've said this before on the show maybe. And I appreciate it even more because of how much they talk about the road in the thing. So I have a weird, even bonded with it more, where it's like them talking about like an unorthodox job, becoming a job, and then becoming tiresome, and then it's like oh yeah, I've had these thoughts before. Even though I'm not a rock star, you have the thoughts of like, yeah, this is fucking sucks.
Well, there we go. We gave you a little bit of both. Our favorite actual concert movies. And the fake ones that we love. So thank you, E-Rock.
Yes.
3382 on Twitter. Thank you, Eric. Great question. Right up my alley, personally. I love all that kind of stuff. And, if you, for my deadheads out there, I'll give you Downhill from Here. I forgot to mention it. Great concert from summer '89.
Where are they?
My favorite dead year of touring.
'89 was that
They're
Touch
in
of-
Alpine Valley, Wisconsin.
That's Touch of Grey year, right?
That's when Touch of Grey kind of became popular.
That's what I mean.
The Touch of Grey era.
Yeah.
Not the Touch of Grey year.
That's
that was
how
on In
I
the Dark
knew.
that came out in '87.
That's how I knew Grateful Dead was like when Touch of Grey came out and the video was out
Their
on
only
TV.
top 10 hit.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So that's about it for
That's
Defend
it for
Your
this week.
Band.
Defend your
movie.
Defend your
Defend
fake
music
band movie. We have no idea what we're going to name this episode.
I'll think of something. But thank you guys, as always, for tuning in. We loved meeting the Defenders out on the road. Thank you again, Amy, and thank you guys for writing in. And please, you guys see, if you reach out, we'll
Yes.
usually address it if it's a fun topic.
Say hello in person. Email us, defendyourmovie@gmail.com. We're at defendyourmovie on Twitter. Tweet at us. We write back on Twitter. The account writes back, and me and Andy will write back with our opinions.
Absolutely.
About stuff. Also, let us know what you think. Let us know matchups. We've been doing some of them. We answer this question. Ask more questions. We'll handle that for part of the episode or the whole episode. Who knows?
Totally.
And what else? As far as your social media,
I am at Andy Fiori, ANDYFIORI, on Instagram, Twitter, AndyFiori.com for all my tour dates. And speaking of which, happy Labor Day weekend coming up to everybody out there. I will be at the Fairfield Comedy Club in Fairfield, Connecticut on Saturday night, the day after this comes out, for 2 shows at 7 and 9. And then back in the city late, Saturday and Sunday, I'm at New York Comedy Club and the Comedy Cellar. And, I'm sorry, and I have to, my Hartford dates in the upcoming months had to get canceled. City Steam closed down. The club closed.
Did you have City Steam set up? Yeah.
If you're close to Hartford, make the drive up to Fairfield this Saturday.
Yes, go to Fairfield. It's owned by the guy that we know from New York Comedy Club.
Fun little room.
And it's a great room. It's the lobby of a hotel, but it's a great room, a great setup with great comics. And Andy is absolutely hilarious. So I hear that. People tell me. Not good. I'm at Shawnee Time on Instagram and Twitter. Right now, I'm in Chicago at Zany's. I'm in Zany's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Look on their website. I believe it's Thursday and Saturday. I'm downtown. Friday, I'm in Rosemont. So, let me know if you're coming. Come up to me if you see me. Say you're a Defender. We'll get a potato. We'll sign it. We'll take a picture. And that's about it. Yeah.
Defenders.
Oh! Thank you guys so much, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.